Good morning, friends, and welcome to Take Two for this Tuesday, July the 31st, 2018. Can you believe it? We've gotten to the end of another month. Tomorrow, it's a day of new beginnings, a new month, and exciting things ahead. Well, I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about 10 years from now. Now, let me explain what that means. Some time back when we were living in Texas and we were working at a ministry there, I remember I was fretting over something. What else is new? I was fretting over some nonsensical thing. And as I was going on, there was somebody in our living quarters where we were at the ministry, and he was working on an electrical outlet in our kitchen. And as he was working on this electrical outlet, he's listening to me fret about something. I think I might have been on the phone with somebody fretting about something. And anyway, I hung up the phone and I was just like, getting in this fretful mood. And Roland looked at me and he said, Jeannie, 10 years from now, what difference is it going to make? Who's going to care? What will it matter? And I thought, oh my goodness, wow. Was what I'm fretting about, is it really going to matter 10 years from now? Is it going to matter 10 days from now? Is it going to matter 10 minutes from now? So I started thinking about what 10 years means. So I took out my trusty daytimer calendar and I started looking, and I started realizing that means going through this, or calendar like this, like my church calendar, going through it 10 times. That's 3,653 days, give or take, depending on when you start allowing for leap days. 3,653 days. Now, is what I'm worrying about? You know what? I couldn't tell you what I was worrying or fretting about that day. Couldn't tell you. But I know one thing. Many, many days and months and weeks and years have passed since he made that comment to me. I started thinking about it. Roland said those words to me in 1992. Do you realize that's 26 years ago? And I don't worry at all about whatever it was I was worrying about that day. You know, the Bible says, how can a man by worrying add 1 moment to his life? Or in the King James, 1 cubit to his stature. How could you add anything by worrying? If anything, all it does is make it worse. Now, there are things I know in history that have happened, and we do still think about them 10 years or more later. Think about 9/11, a terrible tragedy on September 11th, 2001. That was 17 years ago. In September, it'll be 17 years. Think about Hurricane Katrina. Coming up in August will be the 13th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. We still remember that. Those things are still fresh. When my nephew was born in 2013, that was 5 years ago. Oh, we still remember it very fresh in our minds, okay? So things are important and dates are important. And a marriage day. I mean, I married Michael December of 1984. I remember that day like it was yesterday. So here I am 34 years later and I'm still remembering it. But what we might have had a little bit of an argument about in 1984, 85. Maybe we argued, maybe he didn't like the way I cooked the food. He never complained about that. But any kind of little tiny thing, maybe I was late for something, I made him late by not being on time, whatever. Those kinds of things, are they worth worrying about? 10 years from now, 10 weeks from now, 10 days from now, 10 minutes from now, will they matter? Do they matter? So think about that. Do you fret about things that do not matter? Do you go and wait online at a restaurant and your reservation got lost, or your table wasn't ready and that means you had to wait a little bit longer, or the server wasn't very nice, or the food that you ordered, the restaurant ran out of? Now, if you're fretting and worrying and being all crazy about it today, is it going to matter 10 years from now? Are you going to care? Are the things that really matter in this world, is that going to be included in your list? When my mother checked out of this world on June 22nd, before she was taking her last breaths in that hospital bed, was she saying, oh dear, the grocery store I shop in ran out of broccoli this week? No, those things didn't matter to her at that point. What mattered was reflecting on what really mattered, the family and so on. And that's what matters, okay? So don't fret. Don't worry about things that 10 years from now aren't going to matter. Don't worry about things that 10 seconds from now are not going to matter. My word to you today is just don't fret, because it really isn't worth the effort and energy to fret like that, okay? Now go be a blessing to somebody today. Hey, go be a blessing to somebody who worries and frets over things and is still going to be worrying about them 10 years from now, okay? Or thinks they're going to be worrying about them. You go be a calming force to somebody who's a worrier, okay? And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Jeanne Sigler, Jeannesigler. Click that subscribe button and listen to some great music today that will make you forget your worrying. Go to WRMZ.org, click the listen button. And if you want to really be a blessing and something that will matter 10 years from now, click that donate button, because we could use all the help we could get. You guys, this is a labor of love that Big Tom and I do for you with Ram Radio. So please, WRMZ.org, click the listen, click the donate, and make sure that you go be a blessing. Okay, that's all I've got to say today. And I hope my words permeate your heart. Yes, even 10 years from now. Join me tomorrow for Hump Day. It's Wednesday, August 1st tomorrow. Don't miss it. I love you. Bye-bye.